In this video, we're going to make this animation in Cinema 4D. So we're going to make a bell icon in Illustrator, merge them documents in Cinema 4D, add an ambient inclusion so we get a little bit of shadows on our actual comp, and then, a little bit of animation with making stop hold keyframes within Cinema 4D with position keyframes as well. So yeah. So hello everybody. I've got After Effects open. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go open up Illustrator. And we're going to make a bell icon in Illustrator to then import into Cinema 4D. So let's go for A4. Right, I'm just going to make sure that I have Pathfinder and Align up. So I'm going to go to Window, Align, Window, Pathfinder. Next, I'm just going to make a ellipse tool. I'm going to hold down Shift, and I get this. Next, I'm just going to go to the rectangle tool and select this. I'm going to go over this anchor point here. Well, first off, it would help if I didn't actually have anything selected. I'm going to go to the square tool. I'm going to go over this anchor point, go over this anchor point, and just snap it to the bottom there. So I'll get this sort of shape. Next, I'm going to select both, and then I'm going to the Pathfinder and unite them. Next, I'm going to hold down Alt or Option on a Mac, and then just drag up. And as you can see, I've got two shapes here. This one needs to be smaller, so I'm going to hold down Option and Shift to decrease. I'm going to have that right at the top there. Perfect. So that's the top of the bell. Right, next, I'm just going to hold down Alt, drag this down, and let's rotate it. Object, transform, rotate, and 180 degrees, and click OK. Let's decrease the size of this. Let's hold down Shift and Option or Alt and decrease that. Perfect. Let's move that down a little bit more. Next, I'm just going to draw a box over this, and so it overlaps there like that. Cool. So I've got these two objects here, this one and this one. I'm going to select them both. So I've got both of them selected, and I'm just going to use this minus attachment, and then look, I've got this. These two need to be joined together, so select them both and then add them together. Finally, I'm just going to draw a rectangle like this. Select all of my objects and then just go to this middle button here. Horizontal align center. And there, it's very small, but it makes all the difference. Select both of these and then add them together. I'm just going to smooth off these corners here. I'm going to select this selection tool, click on that anchor point there, and you get this little circle. With that circle, I'm just going to drag up. Click here. With this circle, just drag up. And there you have it. There's our bell. Let's save this. File, it's different than what we normally do with saving, okay? So please look what I'm doing now. Save as. Desktop, let's type in bell. AI, click save. Click OK. Oh, no, I'm an idiot. File, save as. Sorry. Bell, AI, that was daydreaming then. Click save, click replace. And instead of Illustrator 2020, if you click on Illustrator 8, this allows us to import stuff into Cinema 4D, and then click OK. Click OK. Now in After Effects, let's go to File, New, Cinema 4D file. Let's click on Desktop and let's type in bell. .cinema 4D, click Save. And then I'm going to make sure that this is open. At the moment it's Untitled 2. So I'm going to go to File, Open Project, bell.cinema 4D and click Open. Cool. Then I'm going to go to File, merge project, and then I'm going to go to my bell.ai, and then I'm going to click open. In scale, I'm going to go all the way up to 10. And then look, I've got my actual bell here. I'm just going to move this up and move this across. And so it's bang in the center of the composition. If yours looks a little different, I've just turned filter and I've turned off my grid. Next, I'm going to go to this icon here, and it's extrude. I'm going to put this bell, select it and drag it into extrude. Now with this extrude selected, I'm going to tell it to go to, it opens up an object, and I've got hierarchical. So I'm going to go to extrude, I'm telling it, look inside here, and then look inside here, because it's not doing that at the moment, it's just looking here. Look inside here, hierarchical, almost like an ancestry tree, isn't it? Like grandfather, father, daughter and son. I'm saying like, look here, look inside all of these, and you can actually get your object. Next, I'm just going to go to caps, and I'm just going to get rid of this harsh edge here. So bevel size, I'm going to increase all the way up to 1 centimeter, because why not? And look, it's got a nice little soft edge there now instead. Next, I'm just going to double click down here. I'm going to make a material. I'm going to double click on that material. I'm going to turn off color. I'm going to turn off reflectance. I'm going to tick on luminance. And I'm just going to make it a nice bright red. Almost like a notification. And next, I'm just going to drag this matte onto there. Cool. At the moment, there's no shadows underneath here because it's all purely just illuminating this red color. So I need to add some sort of shadow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down this middle button here. I'm going to go to interactive render region. Then look, this comes up. You got a little triangle here. I'm just going to push that all the way up. And now it's pristine. Okay. As you can see, there's no shadows at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down on this. I'm going to click on this render settings. And first off, I'm just going to change the height and width to 500 by 500. Next, I'm going to go to Effect and then Ambient Occlusion. What ambient occlusion does is if any objects are close to each other, adds a sort of shadowy effect, and then I get this thing here. I can mess around with it if I wanted to. I'm just adding more emphasis there, but that's about it. I'm going to press X. As you can see, my comp is a little bit smaller, but this looks a little bit zoomed out. So I'm going to hold down 2, I'm going to click and then drag across to the right hand side, and it zooms in. Perfect. And then look, this is what my actual icon looks like. Next, I'm going to hold down this button here, and I'm going to turn off interactive render region, and I've got that there. Cool. Now we're going to animate this, okay? So first off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it move up and down. So actually, I'm going to have it scale up. Yeah, I'm going to have it scale up. So I'm going to select extrude, and then I'm going to go to coordinates. At 10 frames, I want it to be 100% scale. So I'm clicking on this button, this button, this button. That makes keyframes for me. At the start of the timeline, at 0, I'm going to have it at 0 on all of these. 0, 0, and 0. And then look, can you see these are orange? I'm going to click on these to be red. Then I'm going to hit play. You can see it scales up. At about, oh, I have to hit pause, it's not like After Effects. At 7 frames, I'm going to have it animate from downwards to upwards. So I'm going to go for position keyframe on the y-axis. Then I'm going to go to 15. I'm going to have it move up. I'm going to make another keyframe, and then finally at 18, I'm going to have it go right back down. I'm going to make a keyframe. So this is what my animation looks like now. So that's my animation. Cool. Next, I'm just going to select extrude. I'm going to go to Window, and then this time I'm going to go to my F curve. So this is where I can actually edit the F curve. So I'm going to open this up, and then I'm just going to get the scale. Okay, I'm going to select all of the scale keyframes, and it's all selected there for me. So I opened it up, I selected all the keyframes. It looks really complicated, but you're just going to click on one button, and that is this one here, step. It's like a hold keyframe. That's literally it. I'm going to press X out of there, and now I'm going to hit play. So this is what my animation looks like. So it comes on and then animates on like this. I'm going to mess around a little bit with the timing now. So I'm going to move this across and move this across. Let's have a look now. Let's move that across. I'm just making it look like, so it's almost like it's animating on there. Cool. Next, I'm going to make loads of duplicate copies of these. But first off, if I move this, it's already got position keyframes. It's going to mess up. So what I need to do is create a null and then put the extrude inside the null. Now this null has no keyframes on it. So I can do things, I can move this around, look, hit play. And it's still going to animate, okay? So Control Z to move it back to the center. Let's get it so you can actually see it on screen. Cool. I'm just going to make duplicates of these. So hold down Control and then drag down. And then look, I can move it all the way back, all the way across. See? And then I'm going to hold down Control, and then I'm just going to pull this one back. So it's really teeny tiny there. I'm going to select this one. I'm going to hold down Control and move it forward, across, and then back. And then across there like that. So I'm just going to fill my screen in. So hold down Control, move it back. I'm using these arrow keys because it makes my life a lot easier. Just keep on holding down Control and I get all of these different things here. What's happening in a minute? Because I've already made a copy. And this one is a little bit too close, so let's make that there. And let's move that all the way down, push it back. Push that back. There you go, there it is. Let's move that down and across, and up. Perfect. So if I hit play now, I've got all of these shapes. Oh, I've actually managed to spin this up. Oh, which is quite good. So if I delete all apart from null one, look, I've made loads of extrudes in here because I'm an idiot. I'm going to hit delete. Yeah, I'm actually an idiot. I do apologise. So we're going to go back to here. I apologise. I didn't expect it to put it inside the null, inside the null, inside the null. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down Control and just drag in here. And so I'm going to make numerous null objects here. And just drag that down. Or you can Control and C. Sorry everybody, I do apologise. So null, and I'm going to go to null 1. Let's move that and move that across. Null 2. Let's move that and move that. Null 3. Move that and move that. I do apologise. Why did it do that for? Who knows? Why am I so stupid? Who knows? I'm just going to move these all the way down. Let's move it all the way back, all the way down, all the way across. And we get a little teeny tiny one there. All the way forward, all the way down, all the way back. Just going to have them all dotted around this part here. All the way down, this one. Let's get one in this center over here, all the way across. And we're almost there. Let's have a teeny tiny one, so let's pull that all the way back. And there you go. So I've got all of my objects 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I should have another one somewhere. Yeah, number 8 is going to be there. And let's pull that all the way down. Still at 15 minutes, we're doing okay. We've got a little bit of negative space there, so let's pull that back a little bit. Let's pull this down and then this back a little bit up. Perfect, so I've almost got like a triangle shape, haven't I? Perfect, so if I hit play, awesome. Why do you keep on animating there, buddy? There you go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of my keyframes. I'm going to go to Window and then I'm going to go to Dope Sheet. So I want it so it's sort of like one notification comes in and then tons more come in at the same time. So I'm going to select all of these and I'm going to drag all of these across. Cool. So I've got one just staying exactly right at the start. We don't want it right at the start of the animation, do we? We want it a little bit further along. So I'm just selecting all of these and then drag all of these down. Right, next I'm just going to select each layer and just stagger them just a little bit. So one comes in and then another one comes in, another comes in, and then all of these are going to come in almost like exactly the same time. Just a little bit, because you want like a little bit of jazz pants on this. Cool, so one comes in, let's have it come in completely by itself. So one comes in, a little gap, and then all of these tons come in. Cool, so if I hit X on that, and if I hit play, cool, I've got a little bit of negative space there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select 2, I'm going to Control C, Control V, and let's just fill in that space. Perfect. So that's sorted. I'm going to press save. So file, save project as. Just going to go on the desktop, making sure that I've got that Bell Cinema 4D saved. And I'm sorted. So back inside After Effects, I've got my project. Let's delete that one now. I've got my project here. It's 500 by 500, so I know it's 3 seconds long, 30 frames per second. I'm going to drag that Bell Cinema 4D file on top of this one here. Instead of software, I'm going to go to standard final. And then I'm just going to, this is going to take a while for this to render out, so I'm going to pause my comp. So as you can see here, this is what my actual animation looks like. This is still an After Effects file, so I can add text, I can add shapes, I can add loads of different stuff in here as well. I can press Ctrl and K. I can change the background colour if I wanted to. And now I'm just going to export this. So let's go to File, Export, Add to Render Queue. Instead of lossless, I'm going to go to Format Options, ProRes 422, click OK, Output to, And I'm just going to save this on the desktop as Bell. And click save, and then I'm going to click render. And this should be quite quick because it's already rendered out in my actual comp. And I'm sorted. And then if I go to my desktop, if I double click on this, see my animation is done. If I actually add sound to this though, so if I double click on this one, where all I've done is just add sound effects for when stuff comes on. So let's get this large screen. I like how it's lagging when I actually want to show you something, but adding sound effects adds a lot to your actual animation. So thanks for watching.